It's a great pleasure to be here. When Nokia divested the smartphone business to Microsoft, we established Nokia Technologies as the advanced technology and licensing arm of Nokia. And digital media is the first new business that we are launching. And the OZO virtual reality camera is our first product. And we have been asked many times, how come Nokia is launching a virtual reality camera? And I can assure you that it was not the result of strategy consultants telling us to enter virtual reality. And it was also not the result of any top-down strategic planning done internally. This was a small group of engineers who came up with an idea, and we gave them encouragement and funding along the way, and became more and more convinced based on the customer feedback that this is a real opportunity. And now we are then really doubling down on this opportunity. And hopefully you will soon see why we are doing this. So in the VR domain, we are really focusing on the reality in virtual reality. Really capturing the presence and enabling people to relive experiences or living remote experiences as if you were there. And we have seen tremendous interest in many different verticals, from news to sports to short experiences, etc., to start to explore with this new medium. And clearly, while the storytelling conventions have not yet developed, and it will take a long time before we have long experiences in VR, this market is really getting started now. And we wouldn't be doing this if we didn't believe that the VR is going to be a significant new mass market medium. We don't see this as a niche market, but we see every mobile phone as a consumption platform. And it's not going to take too long time for us to get there if things go as we see. And in VR, we see that the VR as such is just the pinnacle of more of a continuum of technologies that are being taken gradually into use in the adjacent markets. And it's a scalable technology platform where if you capture the richest possible content, you can also always downscale and show and experience more limited experiences. But the big trend here really is that the images are no longer rectangles, or videos are no longer rectangles, but they are spheres. And not only these flat panoramic spheres, but spheres that have depth and that can be experienced in full 3D. And once you start to have this richer set of experiences on the visual side, you also expect the audio to be fully accurate. Every sound to be in its right place, not only in full VR experiences, but also when you experience any content where the picture is bigger than the display. And what are we going to do in this market? So we are starting with the capture technology with the OZO VR camera. We are not going to make head-mounted displays, and we are not aiming to aggregate content or become the portal for all VR content. It doesn't mean that we wouldn't have technologies in all these other parts of the chain, and we are making them available through licensing and partnering with our allies in the various parts of the value chain. A lot needs to happen before the captured content reaches the consumers. But we don't want to be the choke point in this industry. So in that sense, I know that there are a lot of people in the audience who are working on different parts of the emerging ecosystem, and we have been meeting with many of you here today, and welcome the opportunity to engage going forward as well. But the most interesting part is the product itself, and getting a little bit more details of that. So I welcome here Guido Voltolina and Vesa Rantanen, who will tell you more.
Hello, hello. Thank you, everybody. So how many of you have tried VR? Raise your hands, raise it. How many have not tried VR? OK, if you didn't raise your hands, you're not listening. Let's start with the story. How the OZO story started at Nokia, and how the team really started from a blank sheet of paper, thinking the best solution to shoot VR, video and audio, 3D video and spatial audio. They were not trying to adapt existing camera, creating a rig, or kind of shortcut corners, but really looking at the key components that will build the best solution. They started with buying some key components as a proof of concept, presented to management. They got some more funding, and all the way through we got to today. And here is Vesa, is the head of R&D here at Presence Capture, and he can tell you more about it since he joined from the very beginning.
Thanks, Guido. We designed OZO around three fundamental problems that we wanted to resolve. First of all, we wanted to make it compact, purposeful in both the size, form, shape, while fitting in all of the optical modules, all of the processing, everything that you need there. Secondly, we wanted it to be usable. So we hated the idea that the users would need to go around with multiple SD cards or some other ways of storage. We wanted to make it simpler than that, more purposeful than that. And thirdly, we wanted to make it efficient. And the key characteristic when making a camera efficient is to enable the users to see what the camera sees while you are capturing. So that is how we designed the device. That is what guided us through the R&D and engineering. But in addition, we also did and had to develop a playback technology that fully leverages those key capabilities and benefits of OZO.
And here it is. This is the OZO. As you can see, this is really show the cooperation of the engineering team and design team. Of course, the shape is fantastic, but some of the solutions were really challenging, like heating and how to do that without a fan, because we have microphones and we want to limit the disturbance between the various elements. The two teams really cooperate, not giving up on any challenge, design not asking for more volume, and of course engineering selecting the key components to deliver the best quality. And as you can see, the size is the size of a skull, so your eye distance is very similar to the distance between the cameras, and that's why OZO has eyes, has ears, and of course has a brain.
Let's talk a bit about those eyes and ears. So OZO has 8 extremely wide field of view fisheye lenses with 195 degrees of field of view each, and over 100 degrees of overlap, which is very essential because we are shooting stereo. In addition, all of those lenses are backed by global shutter sensors with 2K by 2K resolution for the image quality. On the audio side, we have 8 integrated microphones for the full spatial audio capture to produce the 3D sound. We have the cartridge with the battery to provide the standalone operation in case you want to lose the power cord and take OZO to places where you can't take the power cord. And all of that VR experience leaves the device via a single SDI cable carrying live the 8 video streams and the 8 audio streams. And all of that in a package that weighs less than 10 pounds and is thus insanely easy to operate.
Fantastico! So what we're here is something that want to inspire, either inspiring in creating and telling the story with the new media, or inspiring a new business, inspiring a new offering to something that was not available before, like teletransporting people overseas or in places that don't exist anymore. So we have a self-contained operability that allow you to fly. You can put OZO on a drone and just fly away. Or you have a very compact size that allow OZO to have the best seats available in the venue. And if you have the best seats available in the venue and you're able to share with many, many people, that's fantastic. But what is also fantastic is that whoever is behind that first seat can still see the show. And then, of course, 8 microphones. For big production, you mic your actors. You don't need microphones. But think about if you're reporting. You're reporting for a catastrophe, or a protest, or a war zone. And now you can recreate exactly what was happening, what would you hear if you were there where OZO were at that time. As we mentioned earlier, single cable. The single cable allows the director to sit inside this small skull, to be there, to look around before action. That means that they can change the actors, change the setting, and then roll.
Let's dive into that detail, so that ability to see what the camera sees. This is OZO Remote, a key part of the OZO application suite. And this is the UI the user of the camera uses while recording. We have the 8 video streams live, either in this original fisheye form, or rectilinearized, or in the panoramic form, so we support all of them. Plus the ability to monitor the audio, the full 3D audio, as you are recording. So we do that by doing the live decoding and then the reconstruction. And why we think this is extremely important for the efficiency of productions is that in many cases, right now, when people are shooting for VR, they leave the set with a bunch of media without knowing what they actually captured. And that is completely unacceptable. So we want the OZO users to know what they have captured already, 2 seconds after the action has happened, not hours afterwards.
So efficiency and quality. Efficiency, because you're not going to manage a stack of SD cards, not knowing which one work or not, and also not knowing what you're shooting and being able to see it only the day after. You want to do that right at the time you're shooting, and ready, set, go. You set your camera like we did in this stage, and then you start shooting VR. That means that you're much more efficient, faster, meaning you save time. Time is money. Money is profitability. That means that you can perfect your production or make more productions. Of course, this has an impact in your offering, and that's why we focus on the efficiency side as well, the quality.
There is one final technical detail that I want to dive into when it comes to enabling this, seeing what the camera sees, hearing what the camera hears, and the efficiency it brings, and that is the player and the playback technology. So we decode all of those streams from the camera live, and what we do is that we do not require stitching or some other post-processing step in order to view that VR. Instead, our dynamic rendering technology constructs dynamically live the picture for the left eye, the right eye, pixel by pixel, from that original footage. And that is immensely powerful because it enables many exciting cases in addition to this already extremely powerful monitoring live and seeing what the camera sees. So it enables all of the possible other use cases and even businesses to be built on that live VR capability. So all of that enabled by the live renderer, but we are not restricting our users to that format. So the footage can be also fed, depending on the use case, to a non-stitching, stitching, even 3D reconstruction workflow. So all of that is enabled by OZO.
So when we look at OZO, we look at exploring. We talk about inspiring and exploring. Exploring new businesses, exploring sites, exploring areas that other people have not visited yet. But also, we want to inspire people so that they are not focused on the challenge or technicality on how to combine cameras, how you connect that to a recording device. We want to focus on what you're going to do with OZO, where you're going with OZO. Are you taking OZO in places? Are you telling a story with OZO that was not told before with this kind of media? Are you recording and then going in the past to revisit the past from a different point of view? Could be teletransportation, could be a time machine, or could be simply entertainment. With this, we invite you all, one by one, to come to our booth and see some of the productions that we created with OZO in California, in the Los Angeles area. Of course, that's the center of high entertainment, and try to see the experience that we generate with OZO and start thinking what else can be done, what else can be initiated with that. Again, thank you very much. We're going to leave you with a fantastic video, and we see you at our booth. Thank you.
Thank you, Slush.
We're all familiar with the concept of a time machine. What we have here is a space machine. Instead of traveling backwards or forward in time, we can transport viewers from one space to another in virtually no time at all.
Have you ever looked into someone's eyes to see what is there? That's a hard thing to do. VR takes this to another level, creates a new kind of closeness, subjectivity, almost as though you could really change places with someone.